Alright, so we're going to review the Sega Genesis Mini console. So what you get in the box is an HDMI cable, which is actually pretty long. You got a USB power cable, and then unlike other classic consoles, it actually comes with a USB power adapter. So that's awesome. It also comes with not one 3-button controller, but actually 2 3-button controllers. So that's kind of cool. So the controller cable is kind of long, although I wish it was kind of a little bit longer, honestly speaking. But standard USB, just like all of the other, well, just like the PlayStation Classic console. Speaking of which, for size comparison, I do have a PlayStation Classic, PlayStation Mini, whatever you want to call it, here as well. So size comparison, they're pretty much identical. Pretty much identical in size. So if you have room for a PlayStation Classic, you're going to have room for this. I also have the Retrobit 6-button controller, which has a much longer USB cable on it, which I prefer this one over the ones that it came with for several reasons. One, it's a 6-button. I mean, come on. It should have been a 6-button to begin with. But anyway, also because the controller cable is the actual cable length is much longer. So it makes it putting up on top of a TV and playing on a couch much easier. So the system comes with 40 built-in games. I did a comparison of what you get with the PlayStation Classic collection on the Xbox One and PS4 and PC with what you get on this. Yes, you get more in the game collection than you do with this, but this you get a port of Tetris, which never came to Genesis. I believe from what I've read, it's a homebrew version of Darius on this as well, that you won't get any other place other than this console. So, that's a bit about the console. Oh, I didn't want to bring up, it does have a cartridge slot, but that's only for the Tower Power that you could have pre-ordered. The volume slider does move. Does move. There we go. But does nothing. You do have the add-on, the add-on slot, but it's blank. It's kind of cool. They added it there. And on the bottom, you can see that. Okay, it's mirrored, but has a website there as well. So yeah. So enough about the console. Let's dive into the games. Okay, so here is what you get when you fire up the Genesis Mini here. So we've got settings up at the top. So here you've got the manual, languages you can choose from, your screen settings, so you can decide if you want a border or not have a border when playing the games. It's kind of cool. Yeah. 3 different wallpaper settings. I like the black. Staff credits, legal notices, and then reset the console to factory settings. I'm going to return to the main menu here. Alright, so you got a couple sorting options. You got sort by genre, sort by number of players, sort by release date, and then sort A to Z. I prefer A to Z. Also, a cool thing you can do is by pressing the B button on the controller, you can decide if you want to see the spines of the games or if you want to see the actual box art, which is kind of neat. I like that. All right, so we got Alex Kidd. We got Alicia Dragoon. This game is not available in the Classics collection on any of the other consoles. This is exclusive. Beyond Oasis, Altered Beast, Castle of Illusion. Castle of Illusion is, again, a Exclusive, Castlevania Bloodlines, again, exclusive. Columns, Comic Zone, Contra Hard Corps, or Hardcore, again, Contra is exclusive. Darius, this is the homebrew port of Darius, from my understanding. That's what that is. And then you've got Dr. Robotnik's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That's a mouthful. Dynamite Heady, and then going down, we've got Earthworm Jim, Echo the Dolphin, Eternal Champions, Ghouls and Ghosts, Golden Axe, Golden Star Heroes, Phantasy Star 4, Monster World 4, Mega Man Wily Wars, Light Crusader, Landstalker, Kid Chameleon, Road Rush 2, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic Spinball, Space Harrier 2, Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition, Streets of Rage 2, Strider, Super Fantasy Zone, and Tetris. I thought I was done there. All right. Tetris, which again never came out on the Genesis, officially anyway. Thunder Force 3, Toe Jam and Earl, Vector Man, Virtua Fighter 2, Wonder Boy and Monster World, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and that's it. So out of these games, Tetris, Darius, World of Illusion, Ghouls and Ghosts, Earthworm Jim. So those are the only exclusives I can immediately think of off the top of my head. I think also Monster World 4, Phantasy Star 4 is one that is not on the Classic Collection. And as always, Sonic 3 is missing from this collection. I think last time Sonic 3 was in a compilation was for the Sonic Mega Collection for, I believe, 360 or maybe even Xbox, the original, is my understanding. And that's due to music type reasons, is my understanding, without going into any detail. So that's why that's not there. That's why you always see these 3 and never 4. I'm actually surprised Sonic and Knuckles isn't here, to be honest. I figured that would have been on there, though that may be for the same reason. I'm not entirely sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of the only games that really requires the 6-button controller to be even playable, in most people's opinions, which is why a lot of people think that it should be included packed with the console, which I agree with. Eternal Champions. Now I have this game on cartridge as well. Although I sadly don't have a 6-button controller, but I do have it on cartridge. I would do one player. We'll do just a fight, and we'll do just contest. That's fine. I don't ever play this, but I'll play this guy, Rax, I guess. But this is one of the only games that supports on this system the 6-button controller. I've tested quite a few other games to see if it uses it. This is the only one I'm aware of that actually does use it. I don't think any of the other games in this collection use it. It emulates really well. It looks really nice, really crisp and clean. This was being played on a 4K TV, and I totally lost. So to get back to the menu, to the in-game or the emulation side menu, with the 6-button controller, you have to hold the start button and then hit the X button. So if you just hold start, hold X, it'll come up to the system menu. Here's where you can save and load states, as well as game reset, and then also return to the main menu or resume the game. An interesting feature I think was kind of cool is when you save. Let's just save right there. You can actually, if you go to save, you can hit C, or even, oops, hang on, I'm going to do that again. Oh yeah, so if you go to save or load and get to the save states here, you can actually lock these to where you can either you can't save to them or you can't override them, which I think is kind of cool. So that maybe if you're letting your kid play, or maybe a younger family member, or what have you, they won't accidentally, or they can't accidentally save over your game. I wish there would be like a password feature, like in addition to the lock save data. I think that'd be kind of. I feel it's almost necessary. But I'm going to go ahead and just go back to the main menu here. All right, so those are Turtle Champions. Let's check out one thing I was actually curious about with this collection is both Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. We're going to do Sonic 2 here. I was curious about the if there's any lag. Now, I don't notice any lag when I was playing these games. I like to play with Sonic alone. But what I was looking for in this is to see if there's any slowdown, any lag in the game. Because I know with some game compilations, when you get going really fast in Sonic 2, there's considerable lag. The entire game will just slow down almost a crawl at times. But I did not notice any slowdown whatsoever, which I'm very happy about. On the Sega Genesis collection for both Xbox One and I believe I saw this with PS4, in my research, those compilations that include this game, as well as Sonic 1, have slowdown, or there shouldn't be. I mean, you shouldn't. You shouldn't have a 16-bit game have slowdown when emulating it on something like a PS4 or Xbox One. It just shouldn't happen. Now, with Sonic Spinball, you're going to get that slowdown. That is part of the game. That is not a fault of the emulation. That is a fault of the game itself, because it does happen on the cartridge as well. So that's nothing to be helped there. But yeah, like I said, I was very surprised there's no slowdown with this game at all. And I'm not going for any speed run here. I think the fastest I've done the first level, I think actually even this one, was I think 35 seconds. I'm sorry, it's the first level, not this one. First level I've done in like 32 seconds. I think it's my fastest. But yeah, no slowdown at all. I was very, very surprised and very happy to see that. There was no slowdown at all. Now, the reason I beat this level is because there's another level that does see slowdown. It's the next level, Chemical Plant Zone. Oop, whoa. Okay. That was weird. I didn't press any buttons. I just, all of a sudden, got to the in-game menu. That was weird. But okay. Alright, so we're going to see if this slows down at all either. Which I don't foresee it happening at this point. Yep. No. Yeah, nothing. It's not going to do it. Yeah, it's playing absolutely fine. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Yeah, no slowdown whatsoever. You may see it on the recording, but there's no slowdown at all with that. So great job on the emulation there. Okay, that's enough of that. And for those wondering, the in-game menu for the original controller comes with it is holding start and pressing A on the controller. So holding start and holding A will get you. I'm sorry. I take that back. Holding just start will get you the system menu of that controller. But with the Retrobit controller, hold start, hold X together, and you'll get this menu. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go back here. And we're going to check out, let's check out Tetris. So this is the Genesis port of Tetris that never officially was made or released, rather. All right, so we got options, so not much there. We're just going to go ahead and just do a one-player game. So the game, in my opinion... I mean, I can see why it never saw a release. It's just an inferior version of the game. You can't hold... Ooh, hello. Whoops. Oh. Okay, something I just learned, guys. You can hit the pressing the mode button will immediately get you the system menu. Sweet. Cool. Okay, yeah. Because the 6 button has a mode button on it. I guess to switch from 6 button to 3 button mode. But in this system, you just press the mode button and it immediately comes up with the system menu. That's cool. Awesome. I just learned something by accident. Cool. All right. But like I was saying, this port of the game, I don't like it. It feels slow. It feels unpolished. Yeah, it's not very responsive when you turn the pieces. I sometimes feel like I'm pressing it more than once, and I don't get that with really any other game. It's only this game that does it with for whatever reason. But yeah, like I was saying, there's no button to hold the piece. So that's kind of unfortunate. It just feels slow. It feels slow. It feels unpolished. It just is not. And then when you get to the higher levels, it just becomes broken. So it goes from being slow to being completely broken because of the unresponsiveness, in my opinion, of the controls. And again, it's of no fault of the Genesis Mini. I think it's just a result of a poor quality game. And I'm a huge fan of Tetris. I mean, I bought the Tetris 99 physical version on Nintendo Switch. And I love that game. So I'm a huge fan of Tetris, and this is not, in my opinion, a very good port at all of Tetris. Cool to see on the Genesis, but not a very good port. And for those who don't like Tetris and think this is just a snore fest, I apologize. I'm just trying to see if I can get it to the point where I feel it's broken, and I think I'm just about there. Oh, that was dumb. Should not have done that at all. Whoops. I think I kind of sealed my fate here. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I'm going to get there. Ah, sick. And there's nothing. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done. We're going to go back to the game list here. Okay, so for those that haven't seen it, check out Wily Wars. Whoops. So this is option mode. Okay, that's nothing there. Buttons. Okay. All right. So this game is a collection of the first 3 Mega Mans on the Sega Genesis, with an option of saving. And this only came out on cartridge officially in, I keep hitting the stinking mode button. Officially in the PAL territories. We're going to Mega Man 1 here. Okay, so I just loaded my save file, of which I've already beat Cutman. So we're going to go ahead and do, let's do Gutsman next. So the game plays really well. It looks beautiful on this on the system here. I will say that with Wily Wars, I don't know how that was going to die. So that's for save states are your friend. The D-pad does feel a little bit stiff, I guess, with this game. Let me kill this guy. I'll explain a little bit more. There we go. So when I go from facing left to going right, you can see it, but Mega Man pauses before he moves. So something to keep in mind when you're doing platforming in this game is that'll happen. And him entering like this, I think that's a product of the controller, but I don't quite remember. It's been a while since playing this game on other systems to be able to confirm that, but it feels that way. Alright, so that was a little bit of Mega Man 1 on the Genesis with Wily Wars. Okay, let's take a look at... Let's take a look at Darius. This will be the last game we look at. This is a Genesis port of Darius. This came out, I believe, obviously originally in the arcades, but I believe it also came out on, oh gosh, I want to say the Super Nintendo, maybe just the TurboGrafx. I really don't quite remember. It's one of those. I know it never came out on the Genesis. That's for sure. The game looks really good. on the Genesis. I mean, it looks like it belongs on the Genesis. The enemies and they're just huge and detailed, and yeah, it looks really good. So you got X for your missiles or bombs. A is your gun. And I'm gonna die. I know it. Oh, I almost die right there. Yeah, died. But yeah, overall pretty good port. Definitely one I can see, sitting down playing all the way through. If I were to have this, if I would have bought this, I did not buy this. I did borrow it for my review. So I do have to give it back. Oh. Okay. I said pretty good port. All right, so I'm going to leave it here. That was my review for the Sega Genesis Mini. I want to thank the owner for allowing me to check out the console on my channel and review it for you guys. It's really an awesome little system. If you guys don't have the Classics collection and want a few exclusive games, and always wanted a Genesis Mini Genesis in your collection, it's definitely worth picking up. You can purchase it at really any major retailer, Target, Walmart, Fred Meyer, any one of those stores. I believe they also carried at GameStop as well. So lots of different opportunities to purchase it for yourself. I believe it is, I want to say it's 80. Yeah, it's $80. So $80 for this, plus 2 controllers, HDMI cable, power adapter. Not a bad price. $20 for the Retrobit 6-button controller. So $100 in total. Not too bad for what you get. But I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for subscribing. And until next time, take care and happy gaming.